Thank you very much, Chairman Lynch, and I want to thank you for calling this important hearing and congratulate you for your role as chairman of this committee. Thank you for working with us and your staff, with our staff, and I really look forward to working with you in the remainder of this Congress on a variety of issues. Mr. Sopko, thank you as well for being here today and for testifying about the work that you and your team are doing to protect the enormous investment that the American taxpayers have made in Afghanistan. I'm excited to get to work on this issue and many others that this subcommittee will deal with in behalf of the American people. As the chairman mentioned, it's been almost 18 years since the U.S. began its efforts in Afghanistan, making it the longest war in American history. Young adults back in Georgia and elsewhere who were born after 9/11 can actually be serving in Afghanistan at this time. We've been through 3 presidents. More than $780 billion has been obligated, with $132 billion being spent on reconstruction efforts. While the effort has been expensive, we must also never forget that we've endured the loss of over 2,400 Americans in uniform during this time, not to mention civilian casualties. There have been more than 20,400 who have been wounded in action. Just this year, 4 Americans died serving their country. I think we ought to keep all of them and their families in our prayers. So, Mr. Sopko, as I understand it, it's your responsibility to protect the financial investment of the American people in Afghanistan. It's important today that we discuss your new high-risk list report. This report, which you release at the beginning of each new Congress, helps set the scene for how taxpayer money is being spent. The most recent report, unfortunately, paints a bleak picture of the progress even through the new prism of the current peace negotiations. In your submitted testimony, you mentioned the importance of planning for the day after a peace deal is reached. The current talks could be an important moment in securing future peace in Afghanistan on favorable terms for the United States and for the Afghan people. We all recognize that a deal could be reached and that in any deal would have implications in how we move forward. But today we need some updates. We need to better understand the current status of the U.S. dollars being spent there. The American people sent us here to protect their hard-earned tax dollars and to ensure that this operation is being conducted as efficiently as possible. Your 2019 high-risk list highlights several troubling issues that I'd like to spell out here. First, the widespread security and its impact on conducting reconstruction efforts, including restricting oversight, which is very disturbing. I'm concerned that our efforts to conduct oversight and improve security are headed in the wrong direction, and that is alarming not only for us in this subcommittee, but for the American taxpayer. So I hope we can hear more about what has happened to hamper that important mission and what should be done to address it. Additionally, there's the illicit narcotic trade and endemic corruption that does not at all seem to be improving. Both of those things have likely led to the sluggish economic growth and underdeveloped civil policing, both of which made the list. For Afghanistan to be successful, we must see these things improve. After 18 years in the region, it seems we should be making greater strides in these areas. Through the lens of the peace negotiations, you've included in the list the risk to women's rights and the reintegration of Taliban fighters. I'm very much curious where and how that will, where it stands and how that reintegration will take place. These are extremely important issues, and I'm especially glad that you included them in the list. And probably they will be on the next list to come as well. Finally, last time that I spoke to you in a hearing, we dealt with those in the United States who have gone AWOL on the taxpayers' tabs. And we need to hear an update on that today on this troubling issue. So I want to thank you very much for appearing before the subcommittee today. I look forward to your testimony. And Mr. Chairman, I thank you for holding this hearing. I look forward to more bipartisan hearings, and I thank you already for the announcement you've made for the one concerning military suicides on May 8th. I appreciate that, and I yield.